A Mochi Moment from Sadie, who writes, I'm not crying, you're crying. This is what I said during my first appointment with my physician at Mochi, because I didn't have to convince him I needed a GLP-1. He understood, and I felt supported, not judged. I came for the weight loss and stayed for the empathy. Thanks, Sadie. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi Moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Sadie is a Mochi member compensated for her story.
So you're running out of closet space. The good news? You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone, or those boots you never fully broke in, The RealReal handles everything from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, right now, you can get an extra $100 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $100 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Ira, the producer. I just wanted to pop in and say that as I was editing this episode, we actually got a voicemail from a listener called Annie, who somehow predicted this week's and next week's episode topics.
One of my favorite little bits of gender fuckery are folks who maybe still identify as a cis woman, but have a strong sense of queer masculinity. I personally am a butch lesbian who has had top surgery, and I still use she, her pronouns, and I identify as a woman, and womany things still resonate with me, but I've had to do a lot of work personally to unlearn what a woman meant to other people and be more expansive in my understanding of womanhood and know that it can encompass queer masculinity. Like that gender expansiveness is just really cool, and it's something I would love to hear discussed. Also fascinated by the idea of maybe folks who identify as male but have reclaimed that queer femininity. I just think it's like a cool, sweet spot, and I'd love to hear y'all talk about it.
Thanks so much for leaving us a message, Annie. Babette, Allie, and I love hearing all of your thoughts and feedback about the show, so if you want to leave us a voicemail, you'll find a link on our site, which is genderspiralpod.com. Without further ado, enjoy the episode.
Am I even queer?
I think I want to take testosterone.
I mean, I'm wearing men's underwear right now.
Is that a boy? Is that a girl?
Man, woman, cisgender, transgender, like we're born into language.
Butch, femme, T-girl,
decolonized,
queer, trans, BIPOC,
neurodivergent,
cisgender, heteropatriarchal, capitalist, girl boss,
queer femme, lipstick every day.
T for T, like fag boy relationship.
butch,
boyish, like sprightly,
the softer, more fey.
Oh, but you're so feminine. You're so feminine.
attraction to a hot T-boy.
I used sexuality to try to understand my gender.
What does it look like for non-binary people to quote-unquote transition?
I was a boy. If I was looking down at the memory, I was a boy.
It's really difficult to look at gender identity head on.
Wait, I think I'm trans.
I'm kind of right now like going, I feel like every couple years I have like kind of a closet refresh where like, and I feel like I'm at kind of a weird age right now where it's like some of my clothes are like still from college, and that feels like a very different Babette, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of going through my clothes, and I was like talking to my therapist about it. I was like, I have to like restart my entire wardrobe. And she was like, well, I don't know if that's true. Like maybe you do, but like, you know, like let's like interrogate that. So yesterday I tried on every single shirt I had, and if I couldn't style it in a way that felt good, I like got rid of it. And I just realized a lot of it is like I have to layer. I have to layer a lot. Like I think layering is like a gay thing a little bit. You know?
Absolutely. Also, I will say we have like the same brain. To go through everything and try it on, I made like a color-coded Excel spreadsheet for all of my clothes because I was like, I got like addicted to eBay over the pandemic. I have way too much shit. And I was just like, okay, I really have to get rid of stuff, but I need to be able to track it. Like, just hyper-focus
Exactly.
engaged was just like, I'm trying on all my clothes to music now. Like, it's like...
Exactly. Wait, that's so funny because we just had an extra room in our house, and so I have a really insane closet. Like, it's pretty fucked up.
Oh my
It's
God.
like it's like a whole room that's just like my fucking closet, basically.
Okay.
And so I kind of need a system. So I literally have that kind of system where I also am like addicted to eBay. And so I'm just like, yeah, that kind of like systematic like system where I'm like, no, but I need to figure out. Whereas I feel like people with normal brains are just like, oh yeah, I like this shirt. Like I feel like my cis friends are just like, oh yeah, this shirt's great. And I'm like, but is it conveying myself in the way that I want to be conveyed? Like, do they know that I'm wearing this in like a Y2K, like girly pop, like whatever, like way? And like my therapist is like, it seems like a lot of your interest in like clothing is like personal and stylistic, but also about like how you're read. And I was like, it's really true. Like,
yes,
I just feel like my cis friends just like buy like a linen shirt and they're like, this is really great.
The thing is like, I'm being so over the top, but then the second I go to the mall and try something on, I swear to God, it was like made as a joke, as like a practical joke on me. I'm like, this is like hugging my hips, like tighter than a lover. And then it's like baggy, like around the collarbone. Like, I'm like, is this a joke? I have to go on eBay and get like the craziest shit because I know it will fit me, because modern cuts, I felt this way all through high school where I would put on clothes and be like, you're telling me this fits right. Like, I felt like I was being gaslit by Limited 2 and PacSun.
No, exactly. When I was in high school, I was like an athlete, so I was like pretty skinny, but I've always been like really tall is more my thing. And so like just the proportions of things not fitting. And now like I don't fit in most normal like clothes brands or whatever, but like I'm in that in between place where I'm like not necessarily gonna identify as like plus size. I'm like a size 18, and like some fucked up brands just like don't carry like a size 18, you know?
Totally.
And so I'm like, yeah, similarly just like always scrounging on eBay because the vintage stuff fits me fine. Like some of the like nicer made vintage pieces fit me pretty well. But no, it's such like a scrounging effort. And I was just talking to my therapist about how that's maybe because I've always just tried to assemble this thing that feels good for me. I feel like I have a little bit of like a scavenger mentality when it comes to clothes. And I just like, I'm like, no, I got to get this because who knows like when the next thing will fit me. And I feel like now I'm trying to like undo that of like, okay, maybe I can actually spend $100 on something I really love, and I'm going to wear it for a long time instead of just like scavenging on eBay. I don't know.
Yes. Having like $55 items. It's like, okay.
No, exactly. I have like 80 shirts that I'm like fine with. And I'm like, right now I'm trying to get to a place where I'm like, oh, it'd be sick to have just like a few things that I actually really, really love. But that feels like so much pressure because I also have like 20 different personalities. So I don't know.
That's like queerness meets neurodivergence for me. Is I'm just like,
no, exactly.
Either wear the same outfit 3 days in a row. Like pretty much if you see me at night and then you see me the next morning, it will be the exact same outfit. I don't wake up in the morning and change outfits. The change for me comes mid-afternoon. Where I just go, well, this smells bad. Time to change.
You're like, this is necessity.
Yeah, I'm like, this felt great to wear last night. Let's do that again. Put it on in the morning, all wrinkled. I spoke to a friend of mine, Roberta Colindrez, who you may know as the butch heartthrob in literally everything, including the original role of Joan in Fun Home on Broadway. She's in shows like Vida and A League of Their Own, and I was really curious about Roberta's unique perspective on female masculinity.
What's up, hottie?
What's up, baby? You are a she-her mask of center individual.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. What does masculinity look like on you, particularly?
I mean, I guess, like, you tell me, kind of, you know, because I don't know. I guess, like, masculinity. I mean, I'm wearing men's underwear right now. And, you know, and I like things that are generally attributed to the likes of men. The likings, I mean, of men. Like, cars and I mean, that's a good question. I'm truly, because that's the discussion I guess we're having is like, what is masculine and why do I feel as though I'm masculine of center and yet female, right?
Yeah, definitely. I guess, yeah, a great place as your friend to start from is, I think, your style. Your clothes, your hair, how you look. And I feel like you were like famously in a survey group photo of every hot butch person in existence for the New York Times.
That was cool, man, because the article itself was like, you know, so many articles nowadays are like fresh faces of, you know, whatever, and it was actually like, let's look at like this like generational spectrum of butches and dykes. And it was cool. It was really like, they even went more specific with it and we're like, what is a butch?
That's very interesting. Yeah. I think the part of this that you're talking about where it was like, not like 16-year-olds, Brooklyn 16-year-olds being photographed for being queer. Right. That part is like very cool. It was very like that. It really felt kind of like a historical capsule to look at. Yeah. And it was just very cool to see you in that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm like sitting next to like Eileen Miles and shit, and I'm like, Roxanne Gay.
When it comes to your style or whatever, I just feel like you have a flair to what you do. Like, it is masculine, but there's just so much to you, to me, from the outside, that's like just a very cool balancing act. And does it feel like that on your end? Is it intentional?
I mean, it's intentional and natural, I suppose. Mm. You know, like, I was like a very, very gay kid. Super, you know, there's like tomboy, and then there's like, that is a future lesbian, you know? And that was me. I think people learn the term gay from like looking at me. People are like, that girl is there's a term for this, you know? I was gay. Like, my mom would have to like coerce me into wearing, like, we would do full deals. Like, my mom would be like, listen, bitch, if you wear a dress to your school photo today, you can spend the night at your friend's house. You know, it was like that kind of like hard deals.
Yeah, full brokering.
But yeah, like, you know, I just felt, obviously, the clothes is just more comfortable. Like, if I'm wearing like a polo shirt that's 2 sizes too big and like jeans that are too big and like basketball shoes, I'm going to feel much more comfortable than in anything else. But like, there was like a weird like jealousy and like maybe a shame that I wasn't, or like, I just felt so different because like I would see all the girls my age, of course, and all my friends were like, you know, hot femme chicks, you know, and I just thought it was so cool to be femme. I just like idolized it so much because it was just like, wow, like there's so much confidence that goes with it. That's different than like, of course, like wearing like a really sleek, you know, jacket, you know, dressing femme is just so cool. And it's like such an art. It lives in like this super performative space that's so cool. And I couldn't do that.
Yes, and I feel the same. Yeah.
So it was weird because when I did wear dresses, people were like, wow. And even like, actually the last summer I was doing a movie, and my co-star, who had been working with for like literally a month and a half at this point, he's like, you know, I had like extra makeup on that day, my character, obviously. And he like looks at me and goes, you know, you're really pretty. And I was just like, what? You know, like...
I'm confused though. In what way? Was it like, you know, you're actually really pretty? Or was it like, whoa, like, dude, you're beautiful?
I think it was a little bit of both. He like, his whole fucking head tilted and was like, Roberta. You know, and it was just like, we've been doing like 2 people scenes for the last month and a half. You've only seen me for the last month and a half. But it does feel weird. Like, I don't know. It's like a very tricky, you know, if someone tells me like, oh, you're pretty, that makes me feel really good, but it also makes me feel really like silly.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't know.
Whoa,
Did you ever like wear dresses or anything? I mean, do you remember what it's like wearing it? It's just like the feeling of like, I look like I'm out of place here.
Yes. I think for me, I completely identify with you when you were like, some people were like really excelling at femininity and I was fucking floundering.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just really feels really like elusive to me. Like I can look at like dresses and accessories and like, I mean, they're just like outfits that are so beautiful, and I never would have gotten there in a million years with $1 million. Like, but I can do like fancy man really well. Like a dapper man, I'm obsessed with that. And that's just, for me, that's like the sweet spot that I could be good at.
Dude, there are a couple of like music videos that fucked me, I think, because we grew up during music videos, but there were two exact music videos, three, that fucked me up. And one of them, like, I think I knew I was gay and didn't know what it meant when George Michael's Freedom happened.
Yes.
You know, like Christy Turlington, like, busting through those doors in the sheet, you know? And then there was Vogue, where Madonna's like, of course I'm like looking at Madonna and she's like so beautiful and perfect and like feminine and like striking all these like beautiful poses. And then there's like the guy with his hair like meticulously combed back and the suit and the scarf leaning on a podium. And I was like, that's me. And then there was like, well, this is unrelated, but Toni Braxton. You're making me high. That's just because she's hot.
Yeah.
Toni Braxton, damn. Wonder what she's up to.
Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary, but the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe and put you on the fast track to becoming debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Just visit nationaldebtrelief.com. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of five-star reviews and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Let today be the day you start turning things around. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you may qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
Big news! Wayfair's tax refund sale is on now. Right now through March 2nd, you can score up to 70% off furniture, decor, appliances, rugs, and more. With fast and easy shipping straight to your door. Plus, amazing flash deals. Shop Wayfair's tax refund sale now to make the most of your refund with huge savings through March 2nd at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Still, like, my sister and I are both isolating in our childhood home right now. So she was like, I guess, like, cleaning out her closet, right? And she's like, is washing all this stuff, and there was like this cute fucking skirt air drying. And she's like, I think I'm gonna go donate this stuff. And I'm like, ugh, what I would give to be like, wait, can I just have that skirt and then like actually wear it?
Yeah.
Like I wish. It's like so cute. It's like a Romy and Michele skirt. And I'm just like, God, but the shoes, like what shoes would I wear it with, you know?
Yes. Wait, you should.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's like, it feels good to wear that stuff, but it also just like, here's the thing about being like masculine, or I guess masculine presenting or dressing a certain way, is that like I would feel comfortable if I wore like a dress and like some fun like pumps or something, but I don't feel that other people would be comfortable looking at me in that stuff.
Wow.
And I would just like feel that, you know, but just because, and I gather that from just like this history, just like actually like wearing a dress to someone's wedding and then being like, dude, yes, you look gorgeous. And it was just like, the tone is like, they feel sorry that I usually dress like such shit or something.
Whoa. Wait, yes, that is so fucking interesting, because it's like, there's still kind of like a power, there's something going on where it's kind of like, oh, you're finally doing it right. Or like, we can see that.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
can...
like, see, this whole time I knew it was there. Yeah. Like, what did you know was there?
Wow. Yeah. Wait, that's really interesting. I was listening to the other podcast that we did like a long time ago.
Yeah, dude, I was just thinking about that.
We were kind of talking about worrying that women would think that we're being predatory. So we get kind of like extra friendly, extra friend zone. So I'm really interested in you as someone who you use she, her, you're a woman, you're involved in like womanhood, but interacting with other women is like fraught at times. How do you navigate, not that there's just a binary, but like feeling kind of masculine around women, feeling kind of feminine around women? Which one feels more comfortable?
I think that's the thing that for me is most historically tied to gender, like, or the idea of gender is just like feeling very different than other girls my whole life. Because I was such a beyond tomboy, because I was so obviously gay as a kid, I just felt so different. You know, of course I was like dressing a certain way and all the girls were doing, you know, I wasn't shaving my legs when all the other girls were. And I was like, I just felt so weird already that I didn't try to fix it in any way that would make me fit in, because I didn't want to draw attention to the fact that I needed to fix anything. Just being always so aware that I was so different than other girls. And then, of course, when I slept with a girl for the first time, I was like 21 years old, right? And I don't.
Same. No, like, I'm just dude, like, oh man, week, brother.
I was like literally the week before I turned 22. So like late in the game, I woke up in the morning and I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, yeah, bitch. But I was like the first time that I looked in the mirror and was like, saw myself as a woman, or even like saw myself as like a person. When I was looking in the mirror, I would just concentrate on like one certain part of my face so that I didn't have to kind of like look at the whole thing. And yeah, which is like all of this was like, I was realizing all of this in the same moment. Like, wow, I've never actually looked at what I look like entirely. Oh, I'm a woman. And then of course, like over the next several years, I was just like, oh, right. My whole life, like every time that I had like a memory of like when I was a kid or when I was a teenager or preteen or whatever the fuck, it was always like the exact situation, except I was a boy. If I was looking down at the memory, I was a boy.
Yes.
It was me wearing all this stuff and talking and having the exact same event. It was just a boy there. And then I was like, oh, I don't see myself that way anymore. And it was ever since sleeping with a woman. And I think it was because I was like, oh shit, I'm just a woman who likes women. But I felt like the only way that I could possibly feel different than other girls is if I wasn't a girl.
Yes.
Or something.
Totally.
So,
I mean, because women who love women is like an impossible category for how we grew up with our parents. It was like, that's not an option.
Yeah, no.
And the only options are like women who love men and men who love women. So if I love women, I must be a man. It's like very like, backwards math.
So yeah, like it was just a really confusing, and it's always been confusing. I mean, now still it's confusing because now I get they them'd multiple times a day, all the time.
Yes.
You know, I got they them'd in a Target in North Austin the other day, and I was like, the first person that they them'd me was like a queer. And then there were like 3, what I would assume are very straight, normal fucking Karen ass women. But they were, you know, I went to return a hat or some shit, and they're like, the first person's like, oh, they were just looking for the hats. And then like the other, I don't know how, also like the amount of employees helping me just return a hat, like was actually kind of cool. But there was just like a ton of people being like, they. And I was just like, this is like obviously progressive and I'm proud of all of you, but I didn't say any of this, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm just a woman, man. I'm just a chick.
That right there, the just a woman. It's so interesting to me because I have a lot of friends who are she, her, mask. I'm really interested in the feeling that it feels kind of like not as radical.
Yeah.
Or like you're just kind of like, how is like, this like literal like middle-aged straight woman being more like quote unquote radical than me by using they them, you know? It's I just think that that's so interesting.
There's like some, of course, part of me that feels really like protective of being a woman or like just a woman or whatever the fuck, because I'm just like I just somehow believed that I wasn't a woman for so long that now I'm like, let me just have the thing that I didn't know that I was before it was like prescribed to me.
Definitely. I've been to a couple stores recently where clearly the people working there have been trained to use like gender inclusive. It's a very like y'all.
Yeah, right.
And
y'all
someone
on
came up
purpose?
to me.
Never.
Yeah, y'all on purpose. My girlfriend and I were shopping and someone came up and went, "Hey, sweet people." is how they greeted us, and we were like, oh wow, like that is even more like. But
that's
I mean,
actually
yeah,
distractingly
for...
stupid. I'm offended now. Just go ahead and ask me my gender at that point. Don't fucking call me sweet people.
My thing right now is very like
just ask.
They them as default is maybe interesting, but I think ultimately still missing the point. There's still an assumption there.
You're right. It feels like it's going in the right direction, but somehow it's in a funny place currently where, I don't know, sometimes to me, like the they them stuff, depending on who it comes from or how it's used or like the intentionality behind it, just kind of works in this way that's in like a kind of more insidious way of just like reaffirming gender stereotypes, you know. And I think that's why I got defensive of like, I'm just a woman, you know. It's like if someone assumes that I'm they them because I like don't wax my mustache and I have short hair and armpit hair and leg hair and like, you know, am like wearing oversized basketball shorts, you know, then, but I can still be a woman and be those things. I am a woman and I'm those things and wear those things and look this way and don't shave this, you know. And so some of it just makes me feel the same kind of like there's something that's unclear about you that I felt as a kid. Or, you know, a young person that was like super out of consciousness, like just away from my body.
Yeah, I feel like we're close to figuring out what those interactions could look like.
Right.
We're not quite there. It's all over the spectrum. Because I'm sure even for me, going to a restaurant and everyone's like, ladies.
Yeah. Hi, ladies.
I mean, I bet that's crazy for you also. Like,
I mean,
you're a woman, but are you a lady? My working theory is that no one is the ladies that they're talking to.
Yeah, like who? Actually, where are the ladies at? Like straight up, who are the ladies?
Where are the ladies? Ladies' night is empty.
Yeah, I haven't met a lady since 1998.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk to you about acting. Okay, so you're that mask girl hottie in absolutely everything you've ever been in. You're famously everyone's gay awakening. Have you
wait, just out of curiosity, like who's everyone?
People I would imagine on the internet, people who make videos of just photos of you that go to a song on TikTok.
Oh yeah, the ones that like spin, the little photos that spin. I've seen those.
Yeah, exactly. Have you picked these roles on purpose, or do you feel like they've found you, and do you like playing these characters?
Okay, so here's the thing about acting or casting. If you're casting something and you're like seeing a room full of people every day, like 45 people have come in, said the same fucking lines, you know, and try to capture the same character or whatever. At some point, someone walked into the room and that was already the character. And so, I mean, it's flattering to me to be considered for like the hot new bartender or something. Like, obviously, like there's some sort of like dysphoria that is like, you want me to play a hot person? Okay, you know, but it feels really good. And so like, whatever, then I always end up getting cast, well, you know, opposite gorgeous, fucking talented, really charming women. So like, what am I going to do? Of course I can act attracted to them.
Yeah.
Please.
Has there ever been a role, or maybe even like more early on in your career, where they tried to like over feminize you, or have you ever felt kind of pushed in either direction?
Yeah, I just think that the entertainment industry is maybe the funniest industry to be gay in, because it's like the concept of your faggotry is constantly presented to you from someone else's point of view. Like when you get a breakdown for a character, it's like the first word as a descriptor is like gay, you know, or like straight up lesbian,
yeah,
queer, or like butch. And that's like funny because the butch they use is like a one word that is going to capture your hairstyle, your mannerisms, the way you talk, what bars you hang out at, like all that shit. Like I remember I did this show, this pilot, thank fucking God it didn't get picked up. I played a butch interior designer with like, of course, an asymmetrical haircut. And this is like LA butch, right? So like it's kind of actually true for LA, but like not at all for New York lesbians, like butch. And she was like in a straight up fucking spaghetti strap tank top, asymmetrical haircut, spaghetti strap tank top, this like green moto jacket with like studs on the lapel. And then like just the skinniest fucking jeans you've ever seen and booties with a heel.
What?
Yeah, like full like Louis the 14th little booties. Like
She
just...
sounds like an ally. She sounds like a straight ally.
Yeah. Yes. She sounds like what a really, really, really straight girl from Ohio wears to an audition the first week that she's in New York to audition for
butch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If that happened to you today, would you be like, I'll roll with it? Or would you be like,
no,
maybe I can talk to wardrobe?
No, I would probably actually like talk to the director and be like, when you said butch, what did you... It's always good to question first and then be like, that's great. So no, this is wrong.
Are you at a point where you can just kind of be like, I don't want to wear lipstick, or I don't know. Do people still try to feminize you, or do you feel like you found your groove and people are like, yeah, we hired you because we know what you look like and we know what we want to do with your character this way?
It depends on the job too, because like A League of Their Own, which is like obviously in the 40s, and women just wore makeup a ton back then.
Yeah.
So like the way that they wanted to make me up was more than I'm used to for sure. And I had to just be like, I absolutely hate the feeling of makeup. It's also going to be 97 degrees some of these days and so humid, it's going to like slide off my face. I try not to wear makeup if I can, just because it depends on the characters. But of course there are characters that do wear makeup, and because of the time, I don't feel like I have much of a choice.
Yeah.
And I'm not the character. So,
totally.
It doesn't always, of course, it's not always based on my comfort or discomfort. It's just like, yeah, this butch in the 70s probably did still wear makeup because she didn't want to get her ass kicked on her way home from school.
Totally. Yeah. This was another part in Tales from the Closet, shout out, where you were like, I'm actually so ready to get a script where the first two descriptors for me aren't Latin butch.
Yeah.
So how do you feel with that now? Do you feel like you would play, since it's not you, it's the character, would you play someone totally different? Are you looking to play a straight mother of two with a loving husband?
I mean, I would.
Yeah, cool.
I would. See, I have to be as progressive as I want to be about myself or whatever, about my politics or the world around me. Like, I still have to be very cognizant of, like, I'm not the only person looking at me. If I'm doing a project, if I'm acting, other people are going to be looking at me. And people are so like, that's why it's like hard for actors to come out. I have no choice because I look fucking gay. But like actors that don't laugh so hard.
I think that's underselling yourself, because there's a lot of people who look really gay who are not out.
Yeah, but like, right. That's true.
But that's interesting. Do you feel like you had to come out, or do you think you started out?
I think that it was like not really a choice, kind of, because I was already playing gay before. I was out in my personal life, like everybody that knew me knew I was gay, but I wasn't like trying to like do gay roles on purpose, like it just, I kept getting cast as gay. And it also, I started like building a career as it was more expected of artists to make a political statement all the time.
Yeah.
And be super like front facing with their politics and shit. And so I didn't really have a choice. If I did have a choice, would I be out? Probably, yeah. If only because like when I was growing up, there was like this mariachi singer who everyone was, my parents would kind of suggest, to be like, oh, she's a dyke, but she wasn't out.
Whoa.
And I was just like, there's a rumor that someone's gay. Like, whoa. Yeah. And then like Juan Gabriel was, Ricky Martin. I remember I found a piece of paper, actually. My mom and I were in Argentina one time, and I was like, Mom, Ricky Martin's gay. And she was like, how fucking dare you? You know, like she was genuinely so pissed off at me. And she's like, why? Why? Because he dresses well and because he's not out clearly fucking women and and paparazzi aren't getting him, like being a fucking, you know, womanizer. And I was like, yeah, but he's gay.
Yeah. And
I wrote
you got under her skin.
Oh my God. Every Latin woman. You couldn't be like, Ricky Martin is gay. I wrote on a piece of paper, I found it like not recently, a couple of years ago, I found it that says Ricky Martin is gay. And it's because I was like, I'm gonna write this fucking down, Mom. Watch. I'm gonna write this down that he's gay, and then one day I'm gonna and then boom, he came out and I found that piece of paper and I was just like
read it and weep.
Yeah. I knew.
Oh my God. Anyway,
yeah, it's not really a choice for people anymore. I think everybody, you know, and if I think if somebody was clearly like, if Elliot Page wasn't out or something, people would expect Elliot Page to be out.
Yeah.
Or
if Elliot started like right now, he would just start as like a very openly trans dude.
Right.
Like, you know, and it would just be like, great, that's that actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of course is like, in some ways troubling to me, just thinking like, wow, people really gotta announce their shit nowadays, you know?
Yeah,
which in some way too kind of like cuts out any possibility of like creativity, of just like being able to see people differently.
Yeah.
You know? I wish that we could just accept actors are playing characters. So that, yeah, we could be in this place, like right now we're in this place too, where like people get mad when straight actors play gay people.
Yeah.
And it's like, well then, sure. But also then, like, are you going to get mad when a gay person plays a straight person? Or are they just only going to have to live within this, like, fucking gay structure that's built around them, you know?
Totally. That's really limiting.
Wow, Roberta's, like, mad funny. I'm, like, really fascinated by this idea of, you know, like failing at femininity as a kid. I feel like it's something that so many like queer and trans people experience. And then kind of like being able to come back and reclaim like womanhood as an adult, which like doesn't necessarily mean presenting feminine like the way that you were, you know, kind of supposed to as a kid.
Oh my God, totally. Yeah, I can really relate to failing at femininity. Oh,
I can definitely tell you failed at femininity, Allie.
What about me tells you that?
Right, exactly.
Okay, but side note, I feel like there are so many like passing ass trans men who are like, I was prom queen. Like, some people out here just fucking nailed femininity and then they dropped the mic and they fully transitioned. And then now they're excelling at masculinity and...
No, like, they're just God's favorite.
They're just,
like,
they're just God's favorite. They're just hot. That's the answer to that. No, but I have, like... Okay, I was talking to my brother about this and we were screaming because I used to just, like, not brush my hair. And I do feel like this is, like, a little moment where my mom was an ally because she was like, that's okay. And I was really like testing the waters. Like a tangle grew to essentially a bird's nest, like sticking out from the back of my head. And it just stayed there. We're talking months. And then I went to visit my grandma and she sat me down and I had me watch SpongeBob while she like detangled the like rat's nest tangle in the back of my head. Cause I just was like, I don't want this hair. You won't let me cut it off.
Right.
I'm not here to like maintain it.
Right.
But I do think I'm like, that must have looked so crazy.
Right. Okay, not to keep dragging you, but that is also the most white person story I've ever heard. Because, like, my hair was washed, braided, and detangled, like, every Sunday without fail. Like, that was a non-option. So I'm like, oh, it's so sweet that, like...
No, for real. This is, like, the Twitter thread that was, like, white people don't wash their legs. And I was just kind of like, wow, yeah. Oh, my God. Interesting.
That's so funny.
I know what that says, and I do agree with it, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, my hair was really always done. And I feel like maybe for me, the Black girl version of failing at femininity, there's just like such an obsession with length and your hair being like long enough and like growing. And like, you know, the people who have like longer hair are kind of considered like more feminine. And like, I always did sports. So my hair was like always braided, like in like cornrows. And like, I definitely just like looked like a little boy sometimes. Or like, I don't know, there was just like so many different phases. I wore barrettes kindergarten through 3rd grade or something. Like, it felt like just like, because Black hair takes a little more effort, like I love it, but I feel like it's not really, for Black girls, it's not really up to them from ages like 0 to like 10. Do you know what I mean?
Whoa.
And then like middle school is where you like ruin your hair with like a straightener. And then, like, but all of it felt kind of wrong, if I'm being honest, but I don't know. I feel like now I'm like absolutely like reaping the joy of my hair and like dyeing it how I want and like doing things how I want. But like as a kid, just like so much shit isn't up to you. And I feel like all of it just kind of feels like gender failure a little bit, you know?
Whoa.
I don't know.
Totally.
Unless you have like really, whatever, people who have like really great forward thinking parents, like fuck you. I don't know. Like, but like, I don't think like any kids are like getting mullets, you know, like of their own volition. I mean,
yeah.
I guess some
Oh my
are,
God.
But...
Well, yeah, talk about the parents. It's like when you see a child who literally has 3 strands of hair and there's a barrette hook to it, and you're like, your parents needed everyone to know you were a girl so much that they've done this to you. Like,
it's so fucking funny.
I do agree, though. I do feel like I've found my equilibrium now, and honestly, the more masculine I'm able to present the way that I want to, then the more feminine I do feel.
I love that. So this week, we spoke on how it feels to quote unquote fail at femininity, which feels so deeply relatable on many levels. Next week, we're continuing this thread by exploring what it's like to fail at capital M masculinity with artist and Oakland punk icon Brontez Purnell.
This is what the problem I have with my own masculinity, my own identification. Public image really is what other people think of you. And we do play that game with society all the time. Like, I can self-identify till the gods come home. It's like when I'm getting followed down the street because I have a fat ass and a high voice, and they're like, hey, sister, where you get all the muscles? Yo, to that nigga, like, I am a woman.
Gender Spiral is an original podcast from Audiation. This episode was mixed by Matt Noble. Music is composed by Chanel Critchlow. Art is by Joey Hahn with graphics by Honey Hodges. The executive producers are Ireland Meacham, myself, Allie Beardsley, my co-host Babette Thomas, who's also our story editor, and Sandy Smollins.
Thank you to our guest, Roberta Colindrez. You can catch her as Lupe in A League of Their Own on Prime and in a million other projects. You know what? You should just Google her. If you like the show, please head over to patreon.com/genderspiralpodcast to support us and get access to fun stuff like our Discord server, bonus content, and complimentary merch. You might even find Allie's personal OnlyFans.
It's just pictures of my dog's paws. Everybody calm down. You can also check us out at genderspiralpod.com, where you'll find a link to leave us a voicemail and ask us questions. Please tell us who you want to hear from, what you want to hear about. Tell us stuff about your life. We might even use it on the show. And follow us at Gender Spiral. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and stay tuned. We're releasing a brand new episode every single week this summer.
Audiation.